Welcome to episode 6 of the Gemini Way. Today we're doing things slightly differently, where today's shoot is in tribute to Bob Linwood, the former chairman and co-founding member of the Auto Raise charity. Today we put in front of the camera the first batch of apprentices from within the Gemini Accident Repair Group, and we also hear from trustees of the Auto Raise charity.
Bob Linwood. I met Bob back in 2012. Nothing to do with Auto Raise or charity at the time. We had 4 sites and we started to build a new website, and Bob was involved with building our website for Gemini. He was a great guy. First time I'd ever met him, really got on well with him, really bubbly character, fabulous guy to work with. And he and his brother built a website for us. We carried on dealing with Bob for quite a few years, and then Bob had a terrible tragedy in his life, losing his son. And he went away from obviously the work he was doing, and met with Chris Oliver and built basically a charity called Auto Raise. In 2016 they decided to have a meeting and discuss it. They invited a few people. I was one of those people around the table, and we had a chat about the charity and what it could become. Apprenticeships were being pushed again by the government finally, so they saw it as a great opportunity to steer what the apprenticeship would look like, the programme, the structure, and to obviously get as many young people back into this industry as we possibly could.
I first met Bob in 2017 at a ABP event where he was talking about apprentices, and I took away from that time the amount of enthusiasm from Bob around apprentices, young people, the potential in talent that is available to the market. And at that point in the industry, it wasn't fully materialised. And I think Bob was able to come forward to a lot of companies and actually be the catalyst for almost the awakening of what the industry actually needed.
With the passing of Bob's son, he'd formed a charity called Real, and he'd done a rally across the country to gain money for that charity, and he decided to merge his charity into the Auto Raise charity. And obviously the passion and everything he spoke about that day really cut deep. And in 2016, Gemini had no apprentices, which is embarrassing, and embarrassing for me at that point. I hadn't even really thought about it after 8 years of trading. And being a former apprentice myself, I did sort of look internally at myself and thought, well, someone gave me a chance. I should do the same, and we have got a great opportunity. We knew we got good people in our business with John Henderson, who could run this training programme successfully, and we fully got on board with it. But it was all down to really Bob's passion, what he spoke about, what he stood for, the tragedy he'd had in his life, which had created this sort of perfect storm, I guess, for us to all get on board with. And we did that, as I say, in 2016, and we said and committed that day that we met Bob that we would put 2 apprentices in every site.
Met Bob many years ago when he first working with paint companies, and then into his Auto Raise days. Bob introduced me to Auto Raise, to the rallies, which were amazing. We have some great experiences, a whole fun along the way with the whole industry. Just so many of us got involved with all these different cars, all livered up, wonderful fancy dress. The whole thing was just an enjoyment to be around Bob, and it was all influenced by Bob. It was just a whole fun attitude towards making people smile, and it was his smile that was amazing. This is a guy that wasn't scared of wearing very, very loud, flowery shirts.
I joined Gemini in 2022 as a training and development coordinator for the apprenticeships. A big role of what I've been doing is working with all the apprenticeships, which we started with a number of about 30 and now we're on about 150, and the biggest provider for that was Linwood and the Auto Race charity. With that, we've seen a great kind of impact for what Bob did, and a huge improvement and a huge build-up of apprentices within the industry, not only within Gemini, but within the whole industry itself.
And Gemini has been a massive supporter of Auto Race. Bob set up numerous events. They did an event at Rye Street where it was a showcase for the industry in a body shop, to bring schools in, to bring teachers, pupils, their parents, everyone to come into a body shop and see what it was actually like, that it wasn't like EastEnders, it wasn't like Phil Mitchell, it was a proper clinical business, clean, lots of technology, lots of investment, and what a great industry it would be to be in. Bob did it in Rye Street Body Shop because it was near to his home, to Saffron Walden, where he'd gone to school, where his children had gone to school. His passion, he spoke at the school and he brought the head teacher in, and quite a few of the teachers and pupils from that school, and Ethan's friends came, and it was a brilliant event. LV Insurance, Esure, lots of insurers came. Everyone saw the potential and saw the value in it, and it was all driven by Bob's passion, and it was infectious. From that event, we decided to put our own on in our Worcester site, and we really rolled the red carpet, ended everything. We had the Stig there, we had really fancy cars there, from 1930s Morrises to, up-to-date McLarens and Ferraris. It was a brilliant event, really successful. We trialled it just in the Worcester site to get one apprentice, and we ended up getting 6 apprentices, a few for our Redditch site, a few for Tewkesbury and a few for Worcester, so it was massively successful.
We saw companies like Gemini come forward with its apprentice programme, and that then also started the avalanche, if you like, into the interest of apprentices and the full potential that it had for the future. I think Bob was the type of character as well that was able to promote and level with everyone that type of problem, and it certainly helped us within LV to be able to get an understanding of why we wanted to back Auto Race, but more importantly back what Bob was saying and his enthusiasm and his determination to create apprenticeships within the industry.
Used to work very closely with Bob with Auto Race, various events, careers fairs, various meetings that we had. His interactions with people, whether that's students, apprentices, future apprentices, parents, teachers, he was just brilliant at speaking to everyone in that interaction, and that's something that I took with me, something that I learned from Bob.
And he just had an influence over so many people in the industry. As you can see now, from his inception of Auto Race, we've got most of the big groups that are heavily involved with apprenticeships because of Bob. Apprenticeships wouldn't be here being strongly spoken about without Bob. Auto Race is one of those, that have took that to the next level, and hopefully that's going to carry on. It's been amazing. I mean, I've been involved with Gemini as well, and Gemini's apprentices, what they've got throughout the whole group, have been, it's unbelievable climb. I mean, they must, they've got 70, 80 plus apprentices across the group. They're not the only group, and all of this was down to Bob.
Bob was also a great character in the industry, and there's a few of those, but Bob was very different in as far as that his general attitude, his overall character was very lively. He had so much enthusiasm to reach all of us within the industry, not just repairers, but within the supply chain and insurers like myself. And he was able to build up those friendships that bridged over so many sectors of the industry. And I think his demeanour around the sort of social side, his character, his shirts obviously were legendary, but his ability to bring the industry together on not just a business side but a social side as well, I think that was just tremendous from Bob.
When I met Bob, he was an inspiration in terms of what was really happening in the industry at the time was very, very little. He'd got a dream, I listened to the dream, and I realised that I was talking with a charismatic person with a mission and also had some views in terms of what the goal was. And that was, he wanted to inject new blood into the accident repair industry. Didn't necessarily have the tools, but he had the ideas. He was great listening to what we decided how we were going to deliver it.
He's been a big influence on me in that respect. I wouldn't have followed that apprenticeship route if it wasn't for him introducing me to Autorace. I was on the Autorace trustee group for a short while. I've been to many of the meetings, and his influence was why where we are today with it. He's going to be sorely missed. His apprenticeship central business that he'd started up, we were hoping to support, and unfortunately that was cut short due to Bob's sad passing. And I'm really saddened that we've come to this time. Life's not going to be the same with him out within the industry. You know, every time we used to go to any kind of event, there was Bob lighting up the room with, you know, his jokes, his support for charities, you know, the apprenticeships. His golf days were amazing. You know, last year's Easy Methods won, and then we had his golf day at Saffron Walden, which is all based around his son Ethan. Just a great guy, Bob was.
The sad part about this is that he's only seen a fraction of what has actually ended up as the outcome. We've been very successful. We've got well over 30 people who have completed the multi-skills programme. He's met people along the journey. He's met them at the induction. He's met them during the awards evenings, and he's also seen them at sites where they're working. If he could follow the journeys of those people through their careers now, he would already be increasingly proud. It's a sad day that he is no longer with us, but I can honestly say that everybody will be carrying on the journey that he wished was going to be there in place for both employers, young people, people in schools, to actually end up with a career in the accident repair industry.
We've gone all the way up to 9 cohorts, so we've got our 10th cohort coming up, so that's over 100 young people into our business, not just the industry, into our business through the multi-skilled apprenticeship, with all the other side apprenticeships that have come on board. We've done a front-end VDA apprenticeship. We've got people in accounts, in marketing. So all the apprentices have all stemmed from that one first meeting in 2016, which is amazing. You know, 130 plus apprentices through one business is amazing. And we have encouraged lots of other repairers onto the same platform. And it's not a competition between us and other repairers. We've done it for the industry. It's been an amazing journey. And if it wasn't, as I say, for meeting Bob, I personally wouldn't have backed the programme, I guess, or even thought that much about it. It was from his passion and his beliefs.
I started as a multi-skilled apprentice about 6 or 7 years ago. After about a year of finishing my multi-skilled apprenticeship, I decided to undertake the VDA apprenticeship. I did this so I could learn all aspects of the trade itself and hoping to progress further in the future.
I remember my first week at MTech, and Bob Linwood was there with a handful of other people from Gemini, which they gave a rundown of the apprenticeship, what the future was for us, what their plan was, and that interested me, and I thought it was a really good opportunity for myself. I'm really proud of myself for what I've achieved, and I am also very thankful for what this apprenticeship has given me.
During the apprenticeship, I enjoyed every part of it. The college side, learning everything new about panel, paint, MET, and then doing the endpoint assessment and becoming fully qualified. The best part about Gemini is it's one big massive family, and I like being part of the family.
I was in the first group of apprentices back in 2017. I have now been employed for 7 years and I'm now a fully qualified accident repair technician.
At Gemini, there is more on offer than just the training. I've received a lot of support with mental health issues and home life. The support has come from many directions, including my own boss, people at college. There's a massive support network to help you through whatever you might be going through.
I applied for my apprenticeship when I was 17. I was one of the first to go for the apprenticeship, and I've now qualified to a multi-skilled technician, and it sort of cemented where I am for life now. It's been eligible for me to get my first house with. I enjoy the job, always have done. Something about working on cars that was always appealing to me, still is even on the weekends. To put it simply, without the help from Gemini management and Bob Linwood through Auto Race, I think I, as well as all the other apprentices, wouldn't be where we are today.
And Bob's legacy will go on and on and on from this. Auto Race, I'm still chairman of Auto Race, and we're still pushing the same thoughts, the same opportunities for young people, and still pushing repairers and insurers and everyone else to get on board with this. And they're all supporters of Auto Race. They pay money into the charity so we can help young people come into the industry, and it's all Bob's legacy will just live on and on. It's a brilliant thing that he's achieved in his life.